Hi, happy International Mother Language Day, February 21st. A day, if I had to, I was thinking right before I saw the recording signal that mother language is the language of the heart. And we are able to express in that language unlike every other. Because it's the language that our deepest contemplation takes place. It's the language of prayer and asking for mercy and forgiveness. It's the language of friendship and love, and so are second languages, and third and fourth and fifth, and there's a whole point in that, and 10th and 50th, right? Let's learn as many as possible, which is part of this special day, to get across the way of life of multilingualism, not just the skill, but the perception creating opportunity that multilingualism gives to us. But let's say something about the mother tongue before branching too far beyond that at first. When we do community meetings at the HAF Foundation in Morocco, in village communities, in neighborhoods, in schools, in agricultural fields, wherever they may take place, when we do them, we want to speak the language that's spoken there, that's spoken every day. And sometimes in Morocco that can be challenging because, alhamdulillah, there are multiple languages that constitute the nation, and so, but the idea of exploring as a community, as a person, what we most want in our lives, we want that to be as real and as united with ourselves as possible, and that takes speaking our mother tongue. So, in a real, undeniable, true, direct way, expression in our mother tongue is equated with sustainability. Isn't that amazing when we think about that? Does that mean that sustainability can't be achieved from multilingualism in many languages? Of course. But that idea of most personal expression and making it as close to what we really feel, requiring our mother tongue. And if that kind of communication is what we need for sustainable development, then we need our mother tongue to help us identify what we most want and what we seek and what we want to dedicate ourselves to. Because that kind of introspection has to be completely honest, completely reflecting of our deepest selves. And what pierces to that in terms of language is our mother tongue, our mother language. And so we celebrate this day, recognizing that it is an essential part, as there are other essential parts to achieving sustainable development. Let's say something about multilingualism. I was born in Miami. My parents left Iraq, Baghdad as children. They met in Miami. Hence, and their first language in their homes was Arabic. And my father then went to Israel, learned Hebrew. My mother came directly to the United States as a 4-year-old, so English is really her, now her mother tongue. I guess we can have multiple mother tongues depending on circumstances of life. I guess in terms of people, it's amazing that, we can, let's explore that in a second. But here's the point I want to say, that, the idea of multilingualism and its benefits are actually ancient. That in the Jewish tradition, which is where I'm from, which is why I went through all of that, to say that in the Jewish tradition, the earlier courts had 70 judges. And the reason they had 70 is because, according to Jewish understanding tradition, there are 70 mother tongues, essence mother tongues in the world. There are hundreds, thousands of dialects, but at the root, according to Jewish knowledge, there's 70. And so therefore, if you have 70 judges representing 70 languages, by the way, each judge is supposed to be able to speak those 70. So talk about requirements for being a judge. But by the symbol of having 70 judges means that you're going to surround an issue from all different perspectives and points of view and pathways, and then come to a more truthful understanding of what that subject is, because of it being surrounded by 70 and representing the 70 original mother tongues on earth. I thought to share that with you. And then the idea that immediately followed is, we understand human beings to have been on earth for 100,000 years. And imagine the languages from 50,000 years ago, 70,000 years ago, 80,000, 30,000. And so are any of our languages today traceable to that? I'm sure somehow but really essentially, languages pass. And imagine all the languages that are gone if we've been on earth for 100,000 years. And how relatively few languages, compared to the totality of all languages that ever were, how relatively few exist. So on the one hand, I imagine it'd be hard to stop that trend, seeing that, it seems like over 10, 20,000, 30,000 years, languages will be lost. I'm not sure we can do much about that other than sort of archive them, but, or maybe not, maybe I'm, not going for the moon, but we have to try. And that's the point, that we have to try through the best way, like always, through practice, through experience, through real situations of utilizing the languages. We learn agricultural skills in real situations best. We learn how to deliver legal aid as a clinician, as a community servant. We learn how to do that by doing that, which is what the HAF Foundation is doing in Fez in partnership with MEPI and NED. So training, we know that we integrate those skills and abilities and perceptions and all that goes into workshops, that we absorb them better by actually applying them in real situations. And so too in the acquisition of language, that we learn them best. It's nice to study them in a classroom, although, I don't have much to show for it after years of that. But the teachers were great. I think maybe it's, people don't learn best that way. That's the problem. And no matter how good our teachers, so there's nothing like being immersed to really acquire it. And so that means getting ourselves out there and putting ourselves into new contexts. And the word, our mother is in the name of today. So let's congratulate mothers, and let's reach out to moms and would-be moms even. And so let's also recognize that the word mother is in today, and be appreciative if in the very best way we're able, and to share that, and to also remember our languages, realizing that all things on earth have their day, but as best we can to close and allow them to see the sun as long as possible. And I wish that for all of us. So take care of yourselves. Bye. Happy. Bye.